Get started. Okay, guys, well, welcome to this brief presentation. I wanted to go over some of the key points about ZRII, and number one, welcome you. You guys are the first members of the team, and we're so excited that you actually followed us on this endeavor. For my wife and I, ZRII is it's really kind of like a dream come true in terms of a company because of some of the key points that we're going to be pointing out during this opportunity presentation. And so I know that we want to discuss several aspects of the business, and one, of course, is the rewards plan. ZRII calls it the prosperity and opportunity plan. So we're going to be diving into that and some of the specifics there. But I wanted to just give you a quick overview because I know that some of you very excited. We just kind of jumped in, and we actually didn't go through a whole presentation with you folks, and so it's important for us to be able to do that and for you guys to get all of the information about ZRII and why this is such a good opportunity for us. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, I believe that you guys have confirmed that you can see the video and hear the audio, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Number one, there is a formula for success in business. And the very first thing that you need to have is a very strong company. And as we go along here, we're going to be talking about why ZRII for us is that strong company. But you also need leadership and support. At the company level, at the team level, you definitely want to have that support. And then you have to have world-class products. I actually do a training. I've been doing networking now for just shy of 10 years. And before that, was an entrepreneur and had my own businesses and traditional businesses, and so I really know what the traditional type of businesses and also the network marketing businesses need to have. And of course, products being something fundamental to your success is something that we have here, but not just any products. We have category creating products here, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that in a few more slides. Timing, once again, very, very important is when you get started in a business, you want to make sure that there isn't market saturation. You have to be aware of the numbers and what's going on in the industry and whether or not this is something where you really want to participate or not. And then, of course, the prosperity plan. You want to make sure that the reward is worth the effort. As my good friend Bishop Stewart says all the time, and I love that saying because it's so relevant to what we do, because we all have the same 24
Do you need me to say it?
Yes, please. Can you please say it?
In business, you always got to make sure that the reward is worth the effort.
Absolutely. And so I couldn't have said it better myself. So all things being equal, it's the same 24 hours in a day. You want to make sure that the time invested is greatly rewarded for your efforts. So and then, of course, you have to have that education. You have to have ongoing education on how to build your business. And so one of the things that I realized when I set my first goals in the industry was to make $5,000 a month. We made that pretty quickly. And then we wanted to get to that benchmark of $10,000 a month. And then, once you got to that $10,000 mark, you kind of turn around and look at what you just did. You didn't really do a whole lot different. You just scaled it up. And so, but you need to learn how to be able to scale your business. And so the Rising Star Academy success system is very, very important. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. Now, let's start with proper leadership and support, because at the end of the day, the company itself is, it's in Utah, but that's the building. But what really makes up ZRII is the leadership. And starting with Bill Farley, which is the visionary. I mean, he's been in health, involved in health and wellness. I mean, that's a passion in his life. But he's also been very, very successful in business, and he's taken 7 brands to $1 billion, including brands like Christian Dior. In fact, at one point, he owned every single Christian Dior retail location in the world, and he took Fruit of the Loom from about $500 million to $2.2 billion. Part owner of the White Sox. He took DoorDash to $1 billion. So all these are huge name brands. Mr. Bill Farley is really a visionary. He has a passion for health and wellness, and so he's the one at the forefront leading the troops. We also have Chris Gardner, which about 250 million people know who he is. because of the massive success of the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. And that was portrayed by Will Smith, the character of Chris Gardner. And as you know, if you saw the movie, you saw, what type of a person Chris Gardner is. And he actually sought out Bill Farley as a mentor. And so they've known each other for a number of years. And Chris Gardner is actually one of the endorsers of ZRII. But then we go on to Mr. Deepak Chopra and the Chopra Center. And for those of you that know who Deepak Chopra is, world renowned. He's just at the top of the list of anybody in health and wellness. Anybody that knows anything about health and wellness knows who Deepak Chopra is. Now, one key thing here is that Deepak Chopra has never attached his name to anything other than ZRII. And so he's formulated our products. And when Bill Farley went to him, asked him, if the human body could just have one ingredient, what would that be? And he said amalaki. So amalaki is our flagship ingredient that is you're going to find in most of our products, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But this is so that you understand what we have here with ZRII in terms of leadership. But I'm going to pause my screen for just a quick second here, and I'm going to bring up another slide here before we move forward. And hopefully you can see my screen here. I want to talk a little bit about the president and also one of the owners of ZRII. There's only two owners. It's Bill Farley and A.K. Khalil. And I want to talk about A.K. because as we're talking about leadership and support, we really need to see who's running the day-to-day operations of the company. And Mr. Bill Farley is well versed in business, and I think that what he's done is aligned his vision with the right people to be able to make that vision a reality. And so A.K. Khalil was one of the most sought after consultants in the industry, went to the top of network marketing as a distributor, started out his career as a distributor when he was 18 years old, went to the top of a comp plan. Unfortunately, as many of us have seen, some companies, you don't fail the company fails you. They go out of business because of management, because of whatever. And, a lot of companies fail. And so he wanted to make sure that he impacted the industry in such a way where he could make companies better at doing what they were already doing. And so he became a consultant and owned a systems company that would put into place back office and systems for companies to stay in business and to actually be the turnaround artist within the industry. And so he quickly, was one of the most sought after consultants. And so Bill Farley heard of him and invited him to take a look at ZRII and how to make ZRII one of the top 20 companies in the world, because that's really Bill Farley's vision, is to have ZRII as a household name, just like some of the top companies that there are in the industry. And so when they both met, AK gave him a plan, a 2-year plan on how to make ZRII the force that it is today. And Bill just said, hey, you know what? I want you. I want you to be the one that's at the helm. I want you to lead the troops. And so, he made him an offer that he couldn't refuse. And he just came on board. And what I really love about AK is that he leads from the field. So he's not one of these presidents that sits behind the desk. He's actually traveling to the Mexican Riviera right now to one of their educational meetings, the RSA Academy, over in the Mayan Riviera. So he's constantly in the field working with people. So when you guys get a chance to meet with him a little bit, you guys are going to realize that everything that I'm telling you is the way it is, because I've already seen it firsthand. So the commitment that he has to making ZRII a success is definitely there. So let me pause my screen because this was a little bit out of order here on these slides. So I'm going to go back to the slide that we were on and then continue on here. Okay, so now that we talked a little bit about the leadership, we're going to dive into the products here, and we have phenomenal products. As you can see here, they are endorsed by the Chopra Center. This has never happened before. Deepak Chopra doesn't endorse any products, but he doesn't just endorse them. He's actually done the formulation of the products with the Amalaki. We also have a world-renowned scientific advisory board comprised of nutrition and wellness experts. So they take in, the Amalaki and hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Ayurveda, which is a type of holistic medicine that Deepak Chopra is promoting, and kind of blended both of those together. And so we have some great products. And I don't know if anybody here has already tried some of these products, but I can tell you that every single one of these products, maybe with the exception, I've taken them, but I have not taken it consistently, which is the daily AM and daily PM. For some reason, I always forget to take those, but I have taken the Purify. I'm happy to say that I've already lost 9 pounds on the Purify, which is pretty great. So when you have 500 pounds to lose, 9 pounds, you can't really see it yet, but you will shortly. I'm just kidding. Uh,
I've been taking the Amalaki. Took it again this morning before I hit the gym. I actually posted it on Facebook, and I got to tell you, I'm really loving the Amalaki. That so far is absolutely my favorite.
Awesome, awesome. And then of course we have the Rise Coffee that I believe I was talking to. I don't remember who I was talking to, but yeah, but they were like, "Oh man, I want to try the Rise Coffee," because I'm a coffee drinker. I love coffee, and I've tried a lot of coffees out there in the market. You got to understand that we've researched a lot of products starting last summer, and we've been looking specifically at ZRII since November. So we've been trying the products, taking a look at the products, and really, doing a taste test because those of you that know me probably have known that I haven't really been in the health and wellness field before. And so I was really looking for health and wellness because those are the legacy companies. Those are the companies that are going to last for 40, 50, 60 years. And that's what we've seen time and time again. And so my whole experience and, have been very successful in services. However, I don't want to do the start over. I don't want to start over again. I want to, do ZRE, and this is where my home is going to be, period. And so we wanted to make sure that the products were world class, but at the same time, there could be really good products out there in the industry, and there are, but if they're not palatable, they're very hard for me to get behind. And so even though they're really, really good, and Bishop knows I take a product every day um, that I love. I absolutely love this product and I take it every day, but I won't market it. And the reason I won't market it is because I can't even get my kids to drink it. Maybe, so it's really bad. Which brings me to this point. The Amalaki and those little pouches that you see there, my kids will come in and ask me, can we take Amalaki? These are my kids. Okay, and I'm talking about little kids. I'm talking between 6 and 14 are my children. They all love the Amalaki. It tastes great. Um, so the Purify is a detox product. You have the Achieve, which is the meal replacements, and those are phenomenal. They have them in vanilla. They have them in chocolate. And those are really, really good tasting products. So everything here tastes great. We have the Z Plus, which is a mango peach flavor. For those of you that like energy drinks, if you like them, this is a healthy one, right? It's got green tea, it's got the amalaki, and it only has 2 grams of sugar. So these are phenomenal products. And then if you look at here, what Deepak says, the way you think, the way you behave, and what you consume will influence 30 to 50 years of your life. And so for those of us that are of a certain age, we start thinking about health and wellness, and I'm certainly one of those people. And so I wanted to build on something that it was going to be a shift in the way I think, a shift in the way, I behave, right? Because this is behavior that I have to change, and also what I put in my body. So all of those things are very, very important. So we wanted to make sure that it was great products, but they tasted great. So now let's go ahead and dive into the ZRII Prosperity Plan. And if there's anybody out there that's already trying some of these products, please let me know. We could definitely open up your mic here. And so just message me if any of you have already received your package and are starting to use these products. Let me know. Just type in the chat box. I'll go ahead and open your mic. If you're having microphone difficulties and just want to write a testimonial, then you could do so as well. Okay, so let's talk about the ZRII Prosperity Plan, and this is not the detailed one. This is just a quick overview of what the compensation plan structure is like, but we could also dive in a training webinar on the specifics of the compensation. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about where ZRII is right now. And when it started, when any company starts, it's going to be in the introduction phase. Now, I would say that we are no longer in the introduction phase. We're right about here. So let's say we're around 1.5, right before the growth and right before the momentum. Now, this is key, folks, because most companies, whether it's traditional business or network marketing, most companies are going to fail within the first 5 years. Within network marketing, you're going to see that a lot of companies are going to fail within the first 18 months. So our company soft launched back in 2007, and so it's gone through that period of time, right? It's been around for 6, 7 years, and we're definitely at that point where we're going to go into growth, and then we're going to go into momentum, and then of course maturity and stability. And so these were very, very key things that we were looking for in a company to be able to catch it right before it hits this point. But not just any company, a company that has a few things. And if you guys want to write this down, write it down. I always teach on this. A company has to have capitalization, has to have the money to be able to do the different things, specifically in the network marketing arena in terms of opening up markets. And so being backed by a billionaire that's been able to do this 7 times before gives me the security to be able to share this with other people that I care about, and also to call it my home. And so we have that, because you have to have the money to be able to pay for the licensing in countries. Some countries are actually asking now for deposits from 300,000 to half a million, just like in an escrow account. Okay, because so many companies have gone out of business and doesn't pay the distributor, so they want like an escrow account set up in order for them to even start the registration process of the company, start the registration process of the products, and then have actual boots on the ground and infrastructure and staff to be able to have distribution centers within the countries. So all of this is very, very costly. You have to be able to do it, especially when it's physical products. So you have to set up distribution centers. Um, so that takes a lot of money, and we want to have that capitalization. A lot of companies will go into a market and do what's called NFR, so it'll bring in products illegally and not for resale, and it's just a mess. It creates confusion, it creates doubt, it creates the wrong message to the field, and it just does. It's not a serious build. So we don't want that. We want to make sure that that we have the money. Second thing that you need is you need to have experience, but not just any experience, because experience is not synonymous with success. Experience just means you were there, just means you showed up or participated. We want to make sure that we have the right successful experience, and we have that. AK Khalil in the last 2.5 years has turned the company around for less than $1 million in production to $14 million a month in production. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but it really isn't in the grand scheme of things, because the fortunes, the legacy money, the money that you can give to your kids and leave an inheritance for them usually happens with a company between 5 and 100 million. So we're nowhere near that. And I'm talking from 5 to 100 million a month, and definitely here in the U.S. we're nowhere near those numbers. In fact, 90% of the volume here is coming out of Colombia, Venezuela, and Panama. So the rest of the world is wide open, folks. So think about that. That's where we are right now. So you have to have that successful experience. We've gone from less than a million to 14 million. So that's 1,400% growth in the last 2.5 years. So the experience is there and it's successful. Then third, you need to have the operations in place. The operations in Utah, we got a chance to be able to go down there and take a look at it. Phenomenal, phenomenal location. Everybody knows what their role is, what they're there for, and what they need to do, what needs to be accomplished. So it was run like a really tight ship. In fact, we have a whole staff of 120 people in a call center in Utah at the corporate headquarters that will help our people with processing orders or their credit card payments. They're all bilingual. It's required that they're all bilingual, at least in English and Spanish. Those are our primary markets that we're in right now that speak those languages. And as we move forward, um, into other markets, we're definitely going to have that support mechanism as well. So they really run it I mean, just like an incredible operation. They're there to support us so that we can concentrate on doing what we do best, which is bringing people on board and offering the opportunity. So the operations is there. We have a compliance department. We also have an advisory board for the products. We have warehousing in every single country. We have office space in 15 different companies in the markets that we're in. So the operations, the legalities, all of those things, the shipping, the receiving, the customer service, the administration, the support staff, all of those things are in place with this company because operations is so important, folks. And that's the reason. And I'm just kind of going off on a tangent here, but a lot of times, you probably heard not the expression, but the comment that most restaurants go out of business. And why is that? Why do restaurants go out of business more? They're more likely to go out of business than most any other business, and that's always an example. And I think that the number one reason why restaurants go out of business is operations. So if you don't have the operations, you're going to go under. The reason why is I believe cooks open up restaurants. Somebody along the line said, "Oh man, you cook so good. You should open up a restaurant." And if that person has just an inkling of entrepreneurial spirit inside of them, they'll think, "Wow, I really should open up a restaurant." But once they open it up, they realize that being a good cook and running a business are two different things. And that's why most restaurants fail because cooks open up restaurants and they have no clue on how to run a business. And so operations is really the Achilles heel of just about anything out there. And so ZRII has that part 100% dialed in. Four, you need a strategy. How are you going to get your product, service, or offering to the marketplace? How is it going to get to how is the person that's ultimately going to be the user or the buyer going to be able to hear about it or receive it? Is it going to be TV? Is it going to be internet, social media? Is it going to be ads? Is it going to be radio? Whatever it is, how is the ultimate consumer going to hear and know about your product? And so you have to have a marketing strategy, and that's what I'm talking about. And of course, ZRII has picked referral marketing or network marketing, word of mouth, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, does a lot, and we could dive into a whole other training on what the company is doing to help the field in terms of getting that message to your people. So they have the marketing in place. And then lastly, which is the least important, guys, and please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's the least important is having a good product or having a product. And I'll give you guys a perfect example of this. We happen to be very lucky in this category because we have category creating products that are endorsed and formulated by world-renowned Deepak Chopra. But take a look at McDonald's. They sell more hamburgers than anybody else, but they have the worst hamburger out there, in my opinion. I think it's garbage. But they sell more than everybody else because they have all of those other things that we just talked about. They have the capitalization, they have the operations, they have the successful experience, they have a marketing message, right? They're brilliant at marketing. They're marketing to your kids. If your kids, since they're 2 years old, they look at the Golden Arches and Bishop, you better be ready for this. They're going to be like, "Hey, I want a Happy Meal." And if you don't get your kid a Happy Meal because he has the new Kung Fu Panda toy, then you have a screaming child all the way home. So they're marketing to your children right away. And so that's how they have their marketing message. And so, but being the products that I just said are
What
the
if your
least
wife wants
important.
the Happy Meal too?
Well, there you go. But see, everything that I'm telling you, is dead on in terms of what we look for in a company, and right now with a product being the least important of the five things that a company has to do to be successful, we actually are so fortunate that we happen to have awesome products. So even though it's the least important, with ZRII, we have phenomenal products. So we have all of those ingredients to take us, and you need to have that to be able to sustain the growth. Because what happens, folks, is that when you hit this phase right here, your success in growth mode, if you're not ready for it with all of those other things that I just told you about, the success will kill your company. So we wanted to make sure that we picked a company that was really at the right place at the right time. And I know that sounds so cliche, but this is where we are right now. We're right here let's just call it 1.5. We're right between these two. We're about to hit growth here in the US, and the US is the biggest market, and it's wide, wide open, folks. You guys are basically, this call right here is going to be ground zero with what we're going to do here in the United States. So we definitely want to take advantage. This is going to be a phase of about 3 to 7 years where this goes, and then after that we'll go into this space right here. And by then, if all of you are still here with us and we're doing what we're supposed to do, then we should all have walk away money by that point. So folks, let's move on here. Let's go to the next slide. And I think I got off track here a little bit, but wanted to go over all of those things with you so that you could clearly understand why this makes so much sense. Now, there's 3 ways to get into our program here. And one of those ways is not on here. In the new PowerPoint slides, it's being developed right now, you'll see how somebody can get started even more economically than 500 or 1,000. There is a $29 enrollment fee, and we could actually look at that in the back office on the sign-up page, where you could start with as little as $29. You have to have at least a $100 order, so total out of pocket is $129 plus tax, shipping, and handling. It's about $150. And so that's one way. The next way that you can participate in ZRII is $500. And then the best way to participate in ZRII is $1,000. And so there's some distinct differences here, and that have to do not only with a compensation plan, but also with being able to unlock certain bonuses that the comp plan has, and also you want to start with more products so that you can actually have samples to be able to give out to people. So let's take a look at the 3 ways you can earn money. You have immediate bonuses for immediate cash, and then you have the residual cash, and then the lifestyle rank advancements and all of those things that really impact your life. So first, we have the fast start bonus. And as we go forward here, you're going to see that a little bit more clearly. There's a slide that goes through this in detail. We have the star bonus and star maker bonus. You'll see that in a few more slides, so I won't spend too much time here. And then we have a tab bonus, and then a 4-week to 4-star bonus. 4-star is the first executive rank of the company, and we want to get there as quickly as possible. And there's some very important reasons why I want to do that. It unlocks certain bonuses, and it also allows you to start earning team commissions at the check match level. So the team, well, you can earn team commissions even before you get to 4-star, but to get the matching bonuses, that's from 4-star and above. So these matching bonuses are huge. You get 20% on your first generation, 10% on the second, and then between the third and the 7th generation is 5%. So very, very powerful, those matching bonuses. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you had 10 people on your team, and you were already a 4-star, and let's say those 10 people, they make $1,000 from the binary tree. Well, you're going to earn 20% of each one of those $1,000 checks. That's 200 a pop. So those 10 people, they're making 1,000 a piece, but you're making 2,000 from just the matches, not even from the binary pay. That's just check matching. So it's very, very powerful. And then second generation is 10%, and then from the third generation to the 7th is a 5% match. So you have the team commissions that comes from the binary commissions as the fast start packs are being sold and they're generating volume. 50% of the QV of the fast start purchasing price goes into the binary tree, so that's going to be generating commissions as well. And then you have Misery Pro bonus. We're going to have to go to different slides to actually show you all that, and we can definitely do that. But just so that you know, we have a $30 Misery Pro payment every month, and that's a very easy thing to add to your auto ship in order to qualify for your 99 to be Z100 qualified. You can buy 2 bottles of Malaki and Misery Pro, and that'll keep you qualified. But it also, more importantly, gives you a tool. It gives you a tool to be able to market through an autoresponder, which sends out business presentations or product presentations in multiple languages. It tracks all your activity. It lets you know who's seen the video, who hasn't, how many minutes they saw it for, what's your activities of the day. I mean, it tracks everything that you do to keep you accountable, and that's in your back office. And whoever wants to do a little training on that, we can definitely schedule that as well. We have the customer bonuses. And those go into your lesser leg tree as well. And of course, those are 20% of any customer purchase is money that you're going to earn, and all of the reorders is 20% as well. Now, we also have a customer retention bonus, which is 10%, which is called the loyalty rewards plan. So whoever's on auto ship every month, 10% of what you have on auto ship is going to go to loyalty rewards. So if you're spending 100, that's $10. If you're spending 200 a month, that's 20 bucks. And those points are dollar for point value. So you can now use those points to purchase any other product that you have that is not on auto ship that you want to try, and you can pay for them with the full purchase price with those loyalty rewards points as they accumulate. So very, very important. That's not just for distributor. That's actually for your customers as well. So that's pretty powerful, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then, of course, the lifestyle bonuses. You have the car bonus, which starts at 4-star with $600 a month. That goes all the way to 1,200 once you get to 10 star and above. You have the Leadership Academy. Right now, AK is on a plane to go to the Mayan Riviera because all of the people that qualified 2 months out of the last 6 month period, which was from July to December, whoever hit 4-star twice won the trip. They get flown. Their airfare paid for, their hotel paid for, their food paid for. They have all of these fun activities that they do. Plus, it's a learning academy to give you all the training and education that you need to get to 5-star, to 6-star, to 7-star. So as long as you qualify for 4-star twice, then you get to go to the Leadership Academy. The achievement bonuses, these are rank advancement bonuses. They start at 5,000 and go all the way up to I believe a million, quarter million. I'll have to double check, but very, very powerful achievement bonuses. We have the RSA Elite Club. This is also for the people that um, get asked to come into local meetings to be able to train and get paid to train. You also get all of your stuff paid for, but on top of that, they actually pay you to become a speaker. And those, I believe, start at 9-star and above. And then you have a global leadership pool, which is 2%. So 2% of the total um, volume of the company is actually set aside for the top rank, starting at rank 8 and 9, and then 10 and above. 10 and above participate in the 2%, 8 and 9 participate in 1%. So right now, those are paying out about $10,000 and $15,000. That is extra money over and above the rank advancement, over and above the commissions, the team commissions, the matching bonuses, over and above the MyZRII Pro bonus, because that tool I forgot to mention also generates an income for you. Once you hit 6-star, you start earning money off of that MyZRII Pro bonus, and we'll talk about that in another slide where you can actually see it. So this kind of outlines the customer bonus here, the 20%. So if it's a 200, if Mary buys $200 worth of product, which gives you dollar for dollar CQV, which is 200, then you would earn 20% of that 200, which is 40 bucks. On the reward order, you would also make that same 40 bucks, but you're also getting 20 bucks, which is 10% as a loyalty reward dollars. And this is what I was explaining just a few minutes ago. Now, the fast start and double fast start bonuses, this is important, folks. So for those of you that have joined just recently, this is very, very important. For those of you that came in at the $1,000 level, you have 30 days, or you actually have exactly 4 weeks to have a double fast start bonus. And I know we have people on here that have come on board at the $1,000 level. So every time you sign somebody up, whether it's at $100, whether it's at $500, or whether it's at $1,000, you're going to get 40% of that. If it's 500 and 1,000, it's dollar for dollar. So if you sign somebody up for $500, you make 200 bucks. If you sign somebody up for $1,000, then that's $400. So let's take a look at this example at the 40%. If you sign up 2 people at $1,000, you earn $800. So most of your initial out of pocket is back in your pocket. But there's additional bonuses that you qualify for when you hit this, and I'll talk about those in the next slide. But when you come in at the $500 level or even at the $100 level, you make 20%. So if you sell a package for 1,000, or sell another, let's say two packages at 1,000, you make $400. So if you came in at the $500 level, then you're going to make less. You're going to make 20%, which is huge, by the way. I mean, this is standard. I mean, if this was direct sales, 20% is pretty standard across the board. So this is nothing to sneeze at. But of course, if you come in at the 1,000, since most people are the most excited and most active at the beginning when they first sign up, then they're going to go out and do probably the lion's share of the recruiting within their first 30 days. This really jumpstarts your income so that you're in a profit scenario when you bring in your third person at $1,000. You made all your money back and you made a profit. So that's really, really powerful. But you can definitely start at the 500. When you come in at $100, which is actually not a bad way for somebody that's, um, oh, excuse me, if for whatever reason 500 or 1,000 is not in your possibilities and you want it to start at the 100, well, you're still making 20%. Think about that for a second. If you came in, sign up one person at 1,000, you've already not only made all of your money back, but you've already made a profit, which is pretty powerful. So a lot of companies won't let you do that. A lot of companies say, well, if you come in at 100, well, you can't sell a package for 1,000 unless you're at the $1,000 level. ZRII doesn't play those games. You could sign somebody up for 1,000 and make $200 in your pocket. And what I really like about it is that whatever you do from now to Sunday night is calculated the following Friday, and then you get it on Monday of the next week. So once you go through that first initial week, then every week you're making a check, which is pretty powerful. So right now, our mission is to help all of you get your first two people, whatever that is, whether it's 100, 500, 1,000. It doesn't matter. We're going to work with everybody. So I rather have somebody come in and go to work than I care about which package they pick. That's irrelevant. We're going to help each and every one of you make money, but you have to allow us to help you. And how do we do that? Well, we are super committed to helping you get your first two people. And I think that's key. We want to make sure that you're qualified to earn commissions from team commissions. And the way to start is to get your first two people. Now, this is important because when you help your first two people get their first two people, the company is going to give you $50 if you're Z100 qualify and $100 if you're Z200 qualified. Now, when you become a star is when you bring in your first two people, one left, one right. If you're Z100 qualified, you make 25 bucks. If you're Z200 qualified, you make 50, which means if you're spending 100 on your auto ship or if you're spending $200 on your auto ship, once you bring in your first two people, you're a star. The Star Maker bonus, once you bring in your first two people and then help each one of them get their first two people, then if you're at Z100 qualified, you make an additional 50. If you're Z200 qualified, then you make $100 when you do that. So we're here to help you, but at the same time, we could also make a bonus for helping each and one of you get your first two people. Now, when things start really kicking in is when you tap into the residual power of the compensation plan. So we have a very, very strong, well, not only have we have the check matches, but we also have 10% that's paid out in lesser leg commissions. Now, when you actually go into the back office and you look at the PDF that actually gives you every single piece of the comp plan in detail, you're going to see that what they do is a 5% on the lesser leg and then a 5% match on the strong leg. That's another way to explain it. But here it's basically, if you round it off, it's going to be 10% on the lesser leg. So when you look at 10,000 in volume right here on the left, and you look at 12,000 in volume on the right, then they're going to take the lesser leg volume, which is 10,000 times 10%. You'd earn $1,000. Now you're also going to get the matching bonuses. So here, it's illustrating what it would be if you got $500 in matching bonuses and also $300 earning at My ZRII Pro. So this is talking about an income of 4-star and above right here. And then it's also talking about a 6-star and above, which gives you 300. Where do these 300 come from? My ZRII Pro bonus. Once you get to the rank of 6-star, you're going to earn $2 for every single person in your organization that is paying for My ZRII Pro. Now, the company pays out a total of $10, so once you hit 10-star, you get $10 for every single person in your entire organization that has My ZRII Pro. Now, when somebody gets to 6-star, they start making $2, so you make 8. When they hit 7-star, they make 3, so you make 7. When they hit 8-star, and so on and so forth. But you're actually going to be able to make money off of that My ZRII Pro once you hit the level of 6-star. And then the rank progression here is illustrated from 1-star to 4-star. That's the first rank advancement. You get $1,000. Actually, the first bonus that you can get is at 3-star, which you can get an iPad, which is just $300 cash for you can spend on an iPad or a tablet or whatever you want to spend it on. Then you have 4-star, which is $1,000. It unlocks $1,000. You have to hit 4-star once again in order for them to give it to you. And you have the $600 for the car bonus as well. This is when you hit 4-star twice. And then between 4-star and the next rank advancement would be 7-star. But in between, if you notice, you could also rank for the RSA, for the Leadership Academies between 4-star and 5-star. But at 6-star, you also tap into the MZP, which is the My ZRII Pro. So you start earning $2 for every single person that has that My ZRII Pro, which is basically everybody on your team. And then the car bonus goes up to 800. 7-star, you hit a $5,000 rank advancement bonus plus the rest of your commissions. The money for the car stays the same. It stays at 800. And then at 8-star to 9-star, you're going to tap into 1%. And then it has $15,000 and $25,000 respectively on each one of those. And then the car bonus goes up to $1,000. 10-star and above, $50,000 bonus. The My ZRII Pro goes up as well, and the car bonus goes to 1,200. So you tap into 2% of company-wide revenue because every 10-star and above participates in the 1% that 8-stars and 9-stars do as well. And then from 10-star and above, they only participate with 10 stars and above. So they actually tap into 2% of company-wide revenue, and then the car bonus goes to 1,200, and the rank advances get significantly bigger. And yes, I was right. The top triple ruby bonus is actually $1 million. Now, right now, there are only 4 rubies in the company. And the top income earner is not even a ruby. It's a 10-star making $150,000 a month. So what that tells you is that the massive money here has not been made. Remember, 90% of the whole volume is coming from Colombia, Panama, and Venezuela. So North America is wide open. We just opened up Malaysia. We're already open in Australia. We're already open in New Zealand. So folks, we have a tremendous opportunity here to really start capitalizing on the ZRII opportunity. So folks, one of the things that we have here is a Rising Star Academy. I really think that over the next few months, what we really need to do is concentrate on getting everybody that's on this call to 4-star so that you can definitely tap into that. Now, quick thing, one of the things that, let me go ahead and pause my screen here for a sec. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about right now is what we can do at the team level. But for that, I'm going to stop our recording here today, and then we'll move on and talk about a few more things before we wrap it up. So give me just a quick second here, okay?